about certain files.
I thought file C was for champions. I mean, it's a C. It starts with C.
I used to think the same.
Anyway, we are underway here. The runners are all off. We have a jump, and we have a very low jump, and we have 2 standing still. Well, one might have been walking. I don't know. So my understanding is that from the qualifiers is that we're looking for a 260. The mythical time on this first stage, Yoshi's Island 2, is a 261. I don't see any one-up strats on this. Well, I saw one one-up from iDabs. The rest didn't go for the one-up.
Yeah, and these would be a 360 and a 361.
And I lied. iDabs didn't get it. My number confused me. Okay.
We did see a couple of 361s last race.
And looking at the times from the first one, here's a 361 for ClassicJames. Good start for him.
Very nice. And we've also already seen a death tonight in Yoshi's Island 3. Let's hope these runners can avoid that.
I think Calco was in one of the races earlier as well. Am I correct on that?
He was. He lost his races against Shady.
Ah.
Who had the Yoshi's Island 3 death, actually.
Oh, interesting.
All right, and they're going to be looking for hopefully a 259 on the timer. Hopefully they utilize those wooden platforms. It'll give them just enough juice. And it looks like all of them did it, avoiding the 258.
We have a clean sweep here. 259s all the way across.
All right, so, we're looking for some shell jump attempts now.
And I expect that the race will be fairly close all the way into the Donut Plains area because the first area, generally, these are generally easier stages. I think we had some kind of a shell jump from RetroBob there. That was nicely done. So there may be a little bit of differential, as will be the case with RetroBob getting to the pipe first ahead of these guys, and iDabs coming up in last. So there will be this minor differential, but other than that, it's going to be probably pretty close, at least in the Donut Plains area, and then it might start to diverge a little bit.
Yep, and a great job from RetroBob. Dab's losing in game second.
So all 4 runners are now in Iggy's Castle, dodging that fireball that pops up from the depths. And you notice that the runners are grabbing the fence. I was just looking at ClassicJames as they were grabbing the fence. They have to grab the fence, so there's no way to jump across without grabbing it, which is a shame because that fence is really slowing you down. You have to stop all your momentum to grab that fence and get another jump in. So all the momentum is lost when that happens.
Yep, and it looked like Bob had a little bit of mishap trying to get in that door. They are the worst in this game.
Doors are hard. Great Iggy kills, though, from all 4. A couple meme, getting rid of the mushroom as a meme. We have a 241 and a 240 among the times. A couple 239.
Yeah, a big variation in times at the Iggy kill there.
iDabs made up a little bit of time there. He had the 241.
So we're going into Donut Plains now, picking up a cape. None of these guys are going to be running no cape, so we should all see similar strats from them.
And hey, we have music now.
It's always good when the audio kicks back in.
Yep. So what you're going to see them do here, the runners do, is grab the cape. They're going to try to maintain P speed. And RetroBob did it very nicely. The others are up there as well.
Yep, and this is a level where their flight speed is definitely going to matter. Your flight speed oscillates from 5 values from 47 to 51. And these runners can manipulate that flight speed by tapping right in the middle of a flight. Hopefully they can get it to a fast speed with a 362 like Bob did. Otherwise you can get a 61 or 60 like iDabs in the other 2.
Yeah, I saw slower times on those. Bob did that very, very well. So this is one of the sleeper stages because this is a very, very slow level to start off. But what they're going to do is they're going to hop up a pipe into a dry area where they can actually move around a little bit. And they're going to get a Koopa shell here, hopefully not run into the Koopa. which RetroBob did that very, very well. And the others, ClassicJames lost his in the air briefly for a moment there, but the others,
they all had a little issue, yeah.
Yeah, they all got it fairly cleanly, and they're all in the pipe, and they got their P switch, and they're wandering around with that now, flying around or swimming around with that rather.
Ooh, RetroBob
Bob
losing
loses
his
cape.
That's gonna
cost him a little bit of time. Now he can still do the donut ghost house by using the fire flower strats. I know we've seen Calco doing that earlier tonight, actually, with the because it's what he's want to do. You can just pop off a ghost and get it to follow you over. You only lose a couple seconds, but the runners typically like to fly in stages 3 and 4 following it, so they, not surprising, see him go back for the cape.
Yeah, Mistaken, almost having a scary death, missing a cape pump and sliding across that gap in room 1. Fortunately getting through with his life.
And after Bob finishing the group at the donut ghost house, everyone's parted the sea. It's almost like Moses is here.
All right, and good early P speeds from all 3 runners. RetroBob going into the level to give it a shot himself. They're just going to be flying through this level. They've got a couple of flyover levels to get through.
RetroBob nice enough to let us know there actually is something down there.
Yeah, it's always nice of them when they're...
Sorry, I was going to say he's getting dangerously low, though. You better not lose any more height or you might take a hit.
Yeah, he's getting very close to one of those flying Koopas. Alright, and this is yet another flyover stage. You shouldn't see much variation in this. This could be something where flight speed can make a difference between these runners. But it's long enough of a flight where... Oh, goodness. Mistaken. Accidentally hitting a parachuting Goomba. Cape canceling downward. He's hoping not to hit that hammer, bro.
So it looks like iDabs and ClassicJames are the 2 ahead. Now, it should be noted that even though they're the 2 runners who are ahead of the 4, at this point, they are 2 separate races. I believe it's ClassicJames going against iDabs and Mistaken against RetroBob, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and these are best of 3, so these runners are going to have to win 2 out of the 3. And it's also single elimination, so 2 of these runners are not going to be making it to the next round of the bracket, or any sort of loser's bracket.
In a sense, it is unfortunate because it is such a quick tournament. You only get your 1 match in and you're done, but at the same time, the fastest runners are going to get on there, and if you make a mistake, especially just like ClassicJames right now where he lost the spring inside the spike area there, things like that, if you make too many mistakes, you could be one of the fastest runners in the tournament and you could lose to any other runner in the tournament because they didn't make any mistakes in their runs. So this is the kind of format that forces you to execute on every single race.
Yep, it's going to help iDab solidify that lead, losing that spring.
And RetroBob with a quick kill. Obviously, everyone else already had that as well. But just noting that because that's where our audio is right now.
Yep, he is not far behind Mistaken. Hopefully he can take the lead up through Vanilla Dome 1, where you see Dabs entering. We've seen some issues in previous races, getting enough height to get up to where they need to reach the key.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is one of the tougher stages, I think, just because of the fact that you have to manage to get that P speed, keep it going up that little gap. If you lose that P speed, it's almost impossible to get it back. So you have to make sure you maintain that P speed so you can jump up there and without having to stop and grab a Yoshi somewhere, which is just incredibly slow.
Oh, fortunately, James hits the safety vine, didn't fall back down, utilizing that Buzzy Beetle shell he had in his hand.
That worked out very nice. Good backup strat.
Good backup. All right, Mistaken. Getting through that choke point, having a little trouble though. Dab's just cruising through.
James cruises through that level quickly as well. Mystakin is among the 4 runners currently running second among all 4, leading over RetroBob.
Alright, it's good to see him all get through that level. No one lost any power up. They got through the choke point just fine. So all 4 are now in the flyover stages.
Yeah, we're back to the point to the kind of level where it's like, what? Are you sure there's ground down there?
Yeah, there shouldn't be too much variation in the standings. Then again, I said that last race, and we did see one of the players miss a cape pump and fall out of the sky.
It can happen.
Alright, Dabs and Mystakin maintaining their lead. Hanging out with the Dolphins. Alright, Dabs is now going to be entering the fortress.
And this is the fortress that begs the question, why would you build a fortress for your goldfish collection?
When you've got the money, right?
I guess so.
Fortunately, this is underwater, so he can't fly over it. Now, at the end of this room that Dabs is in is a pipe that he's going to go down. And when he comes out, he's going to spin his cape at a very specific moment. And hopefully he can despawn a thwomp that is just off the right side of the screen. I don't think we've seen any thwomp despawn so far tonight.
I know we did see a few of them in the qualifiers. I know RetroBob is one of those who likes to get the thwomp despawn. We didn't get one from iDabs there, so that was a miss in terms of that. It's kind of swag, but at the same time it saves about a half second having to wait for the thwomp. Mystakin didn't get it either. So ClassicJames will be the next to make that attempt, if he even attempts it. And ClassicJames did get the thwomp despawn. Very nice.
Great job on his part. Great job on RetroBob's part.
RetroBob too. So making up just a small amount of time, both of them are.
Mystakin almost losing cape to a res fireball. Getting that last hit off nicely.
I'll say that was almost... Mystakin was almost mistaken, I'd say.
James did lose his cape in the Resnor fight.
Ooh.
Fortunately, he can pick one up next level.
Yeah.
That just always stinks when it happens.
It's an auto-scroller level, so it's a very easy, quick level to pick up a cape in. You just lose a very small amount of time trying to... having to stop to pick it up, obviously, in the transformation. And iDab's doing the swag flying strat. By the way, this is our so-called resident sleeper stage, so please get your resident sleepers in chat as we now have a 2-minute long scroller.
Alright, and the difference from what we saw in Marcelo's recent race where he was small, he had to attempt a dupe on the power-up block that's in this level. Fortunately, James is going to be able to just collect the cape naturally. He's not going to have to rely on any tricks. Dabs, showing why you shouldn't get bored in this level. He took a death, and he is now small, going through the auto sleeper again.
You mean a hit? Oh, he did take a death. Okay, I didn't catch the death.
Yeah, fortunately, it didn't drop his flower, so he's able to keep that. He can get a cape.
And this is why you don't go swag in auto scrollers.
All right, Bob's got a shell in his hand, so does Mystakin. Any swag? That's a no for Mystakin. James getting his cape.
Yep. So iDabs is now behind on the top race to ClassicJames, who's a little bit ahead now. RetroBob is slightly leading the entire pack right now.
Bob just showed off some
take
great
that
swag.
back. Mystakin is.
RetroBob did amazing swag, shooting up the vine to nowhere, doing a great block dupe. Yep, Mystakin's gonna hold on to his lead a little bit and James is going to take it from iDabs.
And we now leave Butterbridge 1, and we do, logically, Butterbridge 2.
Yep, and this will be the last flyover level before they start really getting to the meat and potatoes of the run. Ludwig's Castle. Mystakin's going to be the first to enter.
And it's not true meat and potatoes until you get to Roy's Castle. That's just my opinion, though.
Alright, maybe we'll see some differences in who does cape and who does flower strats in room 2.
Mystakin does that first room nicely, so is he going to fly, or is he going to... Well, he did take the intentional hit there. Is he going to get under? He got under a wall. Very nicely done by Mystakin. RetroBob got hot on his heels.
Yeah, RetroBob is right on him. Mystakin's going to have to grab these cages quick if he wants to maintain his lead.
He took that hit, but he thankfully landed on the ground on the other side. That could have been very costly if he missed that.
Ooh, Bob gaining a lot of time on Mystakin. Getting through those cages quick.
And our top runners do the spike room cleanly. ClassicJames is the first to get to Ludwig.
And it seemed all of them did pretty well for this.
They're going to continue to maintain the flower cape combination for one more world. After that, they won't really care so much about the flower anymore because Roy's the last boss they really have to get a quick kill on. After that, they can take 2 capes and they have a backup cape if they need it, if they wish.
Yeah, now with everyone moving into Forest of Illusion 1, the question you gotta ask is, are we gonna see some Yoshi wings? Hopefully we'll see some attempts here.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it would save about 6 seconds if it works. But if it doesn't work, it can obviously lose a lot more time either getting it or continuing to the end of the level. Am I mistaken on that?
No, that's correct. It's roughly 6 seconds, depending on how quickly you can execute. We see Bob grabbing the shell in his mouth, going under. Now pay attention closely. He's going to spit out the shell while hitting it, grab it while it's moving, and try to dupe to the left, making these Yoshi wings.
Very nicely
Great job from RetroBob. Getting out of that level quicker.
So this is going to get them almost tied on the bottom now. They are almost perfectly tied.
Yep, he is right on Mystakin. These Yoshi clips are going to be what makes it or breaks it for the Forest of Illusion.
This could be the a big deciding factor in the race coming up right here.
Dab's attempting wings, not getting it, deciding to move on. Mystakin
does not fall out, and RetroBob does pop out. That is unfortunate. Twice now.
He's gotten kicked twice.
Didn't get in that time.
James is in.
Yeah, James got in, and RetroBob is now in. So ClassicJames and RetroBob are about the same rough pace right now. ClassicJames slightly ahead of RetroBob.
Yeah, unfortunate incident for RetroBob. Getting kicked out. Even if you do everything right in that clip, there's still a 25% chance that you will get kicked out. Alright, Mystakin's gonna take a little bit of a lead here, coming out of Forest of Illusion 2. And James is gonna maintain his lead. Dabs is really gonna have to hope to save some time.
Yeah, Dabs looks like he's about, I want to say 20-25 seconds behind at this point. As we still have a level celebration here. Mystakin and RetroBob still not too far apart. They're both in the same level. So one mistake by Mystakin, say that 5 times fast, could still is basically all that RetroBob would need to possibly be back in the lead.
Oh yeah, he is on his heels. And now we get to see some Roy fly attempts. They're going to stick as close as they can up to a ceiling to a certain point. Mystakin doing a little swag dive bomb at first.
Always risky to do something swag like that, but obviously shows that he's confident in the positioning. Okay, made it to the red door. Grabbed his fire flower. Quick kill on Roy. And see you later.
Yep, and we had very smooth Roy flies from ClassicJames and RetroBob. They're going to be going into the Roy fight as Dabs enters for his attempt at Roy fly. Oh, Dabs.
Oh, that's a miss.
Dabs. Not doing a dive bomb when he should have, just hanging out a 1K pump too long, hitting a Podoboo and falling into the lava.
They take no prisoners.
He's going to have to go back for a cape if he wants to gain any sort of potential time. Alright, Mystakin is first out, going into Chocolate Island 1. He's going to be attempting Pipe Fly here, where he's going to try to maintain P-speed while getting into a pipe midway through the level. If he does it just right, and it will keep him going at a 64 speed as opposed to a natural limit of 51. Dab's going for attempt number 2. Okay, looks like Mystakin just took it to the end and did the end pipe.
Mystakin went past the pipe you were talking about, didn't do any of the rocket strats at all.
Yeah, RetroBob getting it and grabbing that spring for a backup cape.
By the way, iDabs does succeed the second try with the flyover in Roy's stage, so he is moving on to Chocolate Island 1 himself now. We are now in the super spooky ghost house, complete with purifying fire from a fishing booth.
Yep, Mystakin's going to have to stay flying over that fishing booth, but there is a hidden obstacle in the ceiling, so he has to stay pretty close to him. It's dangerous territory. Ooh. Yeah, if you don't get that spin fly right, it's hard to assume that you're going to get that cape canceled.
Oh, that's going to be hard.
His cape.
Oh, he
lost
lost
his
both
flower.
weapons.
Bob is through the ghost house, taking the lead from Mystakin. He's going to hope for a damage cancel jump here. Mystakin got it. He's getting through.
Like I said, one mistake is all it takes, and there you have it. So the same can go the other way now, but RetroBob can make his own mistake, and Mystakin can be back in front. That's all it takes in these races. iDab's going for the rocket boost, it looks like. Didn't maintain it, so he's back to flying normally. Accidentally lands on the 3-up. Maybe it was intentional, but I'm thinking it was an accident.
Yeah.
And there goes the cape. Always annoying to have to do this stage the normal way, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That's for Calco to do.
Yeah, that's a Calco thing.
Alright, RetroBob maintaining his lead. Mystakin getting that backup cape in Chocolate Island 2. You can get that backup cape by collecting, I believe, 21 or more coins in the first room. And that will allow you to go into a second room that has a cape sitting right there.
So we are now entering Chocolate Secret. And the reason it's called Chocolate Secret, RetroBob, of course, 3 of our runners are already there, but Mystakin just entering. It's called Chocolate Secret because it's the secret area off the Chocolate Island area, not in the main map. That's usually what secret stages are referred to as.
Don't tell anybody.
Oh, was that a secret? Sorry, I didn't realize it was a secret. Wow, I spelled the secret. Sorry about that. So this station has 3 very challenging maps. When I was playing casually, by the way, iDabs lost his power-ups. When I was playing this casually, this stage I hated. I had to play it repeatedly and just to finish it for the first time. Felt rewarding to finish it for the first time. Once you're, you know how speedrun it, it's just any other stage, but very tough one to execute as well.
Yeah, it seems Bob's going to be the first one making his way into Wendy's castle, utilizing awesome cape mechanics. You're going to see him going through a lot of saws and cape canceling his way past a crusher right here. If he does it just perfectly, there we go.
Meanwhile, iDabs is doing something that no runner wants to do, going through the purifying fire without a cape.
Yep,
But he's doing it to get a cape.
Oh no, he went back and grabbed a mushroom. So when you grab a cape, you don't have to wait for the animation to end to start select out. With a mushroom you do. He starts selected too early, did not technically collect the mushroom. So he's gonna have to enter that level 3 times. Did he just get...
He got shrunk!
Oh my god, he got hit again as he starts selected out. Jesus.
Oh, things are not going right for him at all now. ClassicJames is starting to walk away with this one now, or should I say run away with this one.
Wow, poor Dabs getting his cape though. James losing his in the Wendy fight up. He don't mind.
So Mystakin is ahead of ClassicJames on the Wendy fight now. ClassicJames loses his cape, has to still get another hit. Ooh, almost took damage there, but almost took a kill. Having a hard time hitting the last.
Oh my god!
No,
I thought he
took a last hit on Wendy, continued running to the side, which is not recommended because those other enemies still have a hitbox.
Oh no!
There's a short amount of time you can run into those, and
he was trying to swag and just lost it. Oh my!
Yeah, I mean, he might not have just been thinking. It's hard to remember sometimes that those have hitbox because it's such a rare death to have happen.
Fortunately for him, he is still a good way ahead of iDabs at this point. iDabs still back on Chocolate Secret. He still has to do all of Wendy's Castle. So that's the good news for ClassicJames here. But, oh my, that's a lot of time lost. And Wendy's not helping.
Not at all.
That's three cycles that he couldn't do a hit. There it is.
Bob's not getting his despawn. Oh no. Bob's gonna have to wait for his cape down at the first boo ring. He tried to thread the needle there for the first one. Didn't quite make it.
Yeah, he might not
plan on doing a damage cancel through the second.
This could cost him time if he can't. He's not going to try and do it here. I don't blame him. So this is going to give Mystakin some chance to catch up. And here we are. We are now in the free fall. And very, very shortly, you will hear grown men utter three-letter words with major emphasis.
Well, Mystakin's right on RetroBob's tail. RetroBob's going to be the first out of the level here. Let's say it all together now.
Get the emotes in chat.
Orb. All right.
Here's another one.
Orb. Both of them are going to be making their way into the Valley of Bowser. Mystakin right on Bob's heels. The top race, ClassicJames versus Dabs. It's hard to tell where that one's going to go, to be completely honest. There's been a lot of mistakes on both sides. They might have some nerves getting to him at this point.
At this point, it's now elimination. It's no longer a case of, okay, I can come back for the next one, nothing's wrong. That was the qualifiers. That was last week. Now they're at elimination. If they lose the set, they're out. So the nerves, I'm sure, are starting to get in there now.
All right, Bob taking a block for another backup cape. Smart decision.
That's a way to kill a mole. Not a bad lower rub by Mystakin there. RetroBob slightly ahead, getting out of Valley Bowser 1. Are we going to see a clip here to gain time from either of these runners here?
All right, ClassicJames getting his orb. All right, yeah. Everyone, let's check out RetroBob, see if we get a sandbar clip here. What we mean by sandbar is he can clip through that yellow section of the block. He didn't go for it. Mystakin might. If he's comfortable with it, it would be a good way to take the lead.
Oh, and ClassicJames just lost his power up. I think it was a cape that he lost in Valley of Bowser 1, Bob 1. And iDabs is still back at the Sunken Ghost ship. RetroBob is taking it pretty much the only pace you can take this one, as slow as you can without being too dangerous.
Yeah, it's just regular.
Now, there is another clip that I actually saw RetroBob practicing before one of the qualifiers. You can actually do a clip in this room to get on the wall in this room.
Yes.
Get up faster. Very, very hard to do, I imagine, though, and probably not something you want to try in a race, more on a PB.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely rarely, if ever, worth it. You mostly will see people try it on, like, trash runs. It's just very hard to pull off, and you'll die if you don't get it. Alright, we'll see if RetroBob avoids getting crushed. We've already seen a lot of deaths and cape loss in this fortress already. Alright, and eyes on Dabs for the fourth and final.
Oh, he missed. And the question in chat, what is orb? Well, orb is simply orb. That's the best way to answer it. To actually explain, I'll explain that a little bit more in the next race, actually, because we're going to have another run for all these runners. So I'll explain a little more of the context behind the orb in the next race. As I have explained it a few times back to the qualifiers, too, I'm very keen on that knowledge. So I will be happy to share that later on.
Yeah, and Bob did a great fortress. He's in the back door of Bowser's castle, Mystakin right on his heels. Keeping escape. He's going into the Bowser fight. RetroBob showing off some cape tech.
And a good start to that fight. Gets the first hit, squishes the other one, or poofs the other one out of existence. What
Yeah, that was a cool way of doing it.
There's hit number 2, and meanwhile, Mystakin is following RetroBob into the fight.
Oh, ClassicJames taking a death in the fortress. Not a usual death that we see. He just ran off a platform.
Oh, and iDabs failed to, I'm gonna guess he was going to flip there, failed to get it.
Man, wow, they both died almost simultaneously. RetroBob going for his ball skip now. He's got to hit Bowser at the right moment near the right side of the screen to keep him from dropping a second ball out of his clown car.
ClassicJames being careful with the crushers there. The crushers do act as walls. If you are stuck underneath of it in the middle, it will not just crush you, but it will crush you. As in completely kill you, even if you have 2 power-ups.
Yeah, they are awful in the way that they kill you. They take absolutely everything. Good bounce skip from Bob. He's going in for his last hit here. Everyone get your GGs ready.
Get those GGs in chat as we have an official SRL time of 34 minutes and 17 seconds for RetroBob. And Mystakin should not be far behind. He's on the 3rd hit right now. Very good race from these 2 runners. On the bottom, the 2 top runners, a few mistakes on the go, where hopefully we get some cleaner runs in the next race for them. So let's see what happens here. Mystakin does get the finish. Mystakin has an official SRL time of 34 minutes and 43 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for him.
Yeah, what a great run from Bob and Mystakin. Alright, we've got Classic James in his Bowser fight, going Cape Blue Strat while Dabs is trying to make his way through the fortress. Did not treat Classic James so well. See if he avoids having his cape taken from him. So Classic James wraps up phase 1 of his Bowser fight. Ooh, he threw that Mecha Koopa a little too early. He didn't get one in exchange. He's not going to be able to go for ball skip. You need to hang on to an extra Mecha Koopa going into phase 2 in order to shave that time. Dabs is going into the back door of Bowser. He's got cape. He's gonna have to hope for some sort of mistake bigger than missing ball skip from Classic James.
And I'll be right back as well. I just had a quick phone call I have to handle here.
Alright, James has to make both hits now. Good job, didn't lose any Mecha Koopas. He also doesn't have one going into phase 3, so he's not going to be able to pull off the final skip, which makes Bowser bounce only 5 times as opposed to 8. Dabs also in the fight, getting his first hit in. James is going into the 3rd and final phase. Alright, he's going to have to get both Mecha Koopas to hit. There's a lot of times where Bowser will crush one of your Mecha Koopas and you have to sit through a whole nother cycle. James isn't going to have to. He gets his final hit in. Everyone, drop your GGs. We have an official SRL timing for him of 37 minutes even. So Dabs is going to be going through his fight right now. Trying to get the ball skip, taking a little bit of damage, doesn't really matter through that first ball. Getting the ball skip. And he'll be going into 3rd phase to finish up shortly. Not grabbing that mushroom. He's confident enough. He got his first hit in. Bowser's only going to be bouncing 5 times before throwing 2 more Koopas for Dabs to get his 6th and final hit. Bowser taking out one of his Mecha Koopas, almost the second one. Thinking on his feet quickly, Dabs gets that final hit. A great GG for Dabs, a 4th and final runner in this race. Finishing with an SRL time of 38:06. Everyone, get your GGs out for these runners. So these are going to go into race 2. We have Classic James and RetroBob winning the first set. They're looking to win 2 out of 3 to advance to the next round of the bracket. There is no elimination. There is no losers bracket. This is a single elimination. So they're going to want to take both wins as quick as they can. I'll be right back in just a moment when we get a little closer to race time.